Back to Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans looking all over the gaff, the place. Yeah, we're back with another segment of the Easy Talk, and we've got one particular person who's got a lot to say, and he's been away for the longest time, and we've got some singing and rapping to come, and we've got a lot of blood on the dance floor to be bled. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting Easy Talk inside 1 hour. Let's see how we get on this one on the other side of this music intro. Yes, indeedy. Welcome back to Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world. It's an Easy Talk. Another Friday, the last Friday before the season comes to an end. The season, where did it all go? You remember we lost 3, then after anyway, let's get into the hellos. So first up, John the Geezer, how are you?
Gooners, ice baby. It's all on my head now, Alex.
It's not Ice, it's Delilah now, isn't it?
Yeah, pray, Delilah.
Richard, bring some sanity to the show. How are you? How you been keeping?
I'm good, thanks. I've had a nice few days away and all refreshed, and I didn't look at any social media or anything, so quite happy and refreshed to come into this.
Well, we're going to spoil that for you now, Richard. And brother Isaac, how you been keeping?
I'm doing great. It's been a while since I was on the show.
Yeah.
But I'm back. The shock absorbers have been doing work while I was away.
Well, they've been doing overtime, haven't they?
if you don't have the shock absorbers, my friend, this Arsenal will give you a shock of a lifetime. But we all want the best for this team because we love this team. We all want the best.
Absolutely. And last but not least, Alfie the cheeky chappy, where have you been? Where have you been?
Thank you for having me back, guys. I've been everywhere. I've been working a lot, studying a lot, so that's why I don't have much time. But today was the day that I said I have to be on. So let's see what's going on.
Good to see you back anyway. Good to see you back.
Thank you.
Anyway, let's get into this one. And actually, within the last hour, I've got to say, there's been some breaking news. I kid you not, breaking news. And the breaking news is Antonio Conte has played down the food poisoning. Yes, food poisoning outbreak, I hear you say. Ah, dearie me. I guess maybe there's a few of us who are quite happy about this breaking news. John?
John,
oh, he's disappeared.
Was that John's doing?
I think so. How are we feeling about this news about food poisoning? Do you think we stand a chance now, Richard?
Well, I don't think it matters. I mean, at the end of the day, all we want to do is beat Everton on the final game, show some pride, give the fans a good send off for the summer, and then regroup for the next season, and that's all that matters. Because at the end of the day, we shouldn't really be relying on Norwich to beat Tottenham. I mean, we'd all love it, but me especially because I'm at my sister-in-law's and brother-in-law's for a barbecue, and they're both Spuds fans. So if I can rub their faces in it, all good. But I don't think we should be relying on them.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I know because Alfie hasn't been on the show for the longest time. Alfie, I'll let you have your say.
Well, it doesn't matter. They are not letting it go, like, because we wouldn't in that position either. Even if they had food poisoning, they have been fighting for it, and even more than us. So I think they will make it. They're already in the Champions League. This is just the last game of the season, which was very important to Everton before they actually won. But now it's just another game, and that's it, really.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Newcastle, was that a banana skin waiting to happen, Isaac? Did you think Arsenal would beat Newcastle?
Uh, Actually, amongst the teams that I had analyzed, I think I remember I said Newcastle was going to be a hard game for us because of the way they play, because we are a physical team, and we've been struggling against physical teams. That is all that has been our undoing this season. We've been struggling against physical teams. Sometimes we lose focus. Sometimes we are like up and down the field. It's like we are disjointed at times. And I was listening to some uh, uh, pundits analyze and say that Arsenal is a team of clusters. That we go on a winning streak, and then next week we are on a losing streak. We become a team of clusters. Like we lose three in a row, and then we win five in a row. That is what we've become. But I want us to establish ourselves and perhaps make even the Emirates a fortress where every team, no matter which league they play or no matter their caliber, they come to the Emirates scared and then improve on their away form. Because if you look at our away form, it has been our undoing this season. Home, we are not doing that bad, but away, we've been beaten by teams that should not be beating us. I'm not like saying that there are lesser teams in this league, but honestly speaking, there are teams that we should not be fearing going to their places. But this season, we've been hard done by going to those places and getting hammered like the likes of Everton at their place. I did not expect us to lose to Everton when we went to their place. But I'll, I want us to establish ourselves. I want us to improve. I want us to let the deadwoods go and bring in good quality players and not just bringing in players. Our problem has been just bringing in players for the sake of bringing players. Let's bring quality players who will improve the whole squad.
John, what was the target given by Edu and the board to Arteta for this season? What do you think was the target?
What was the target? I think
Yeah.
just qualify for Europe, innit?
Mm.
Europa, I think that's what they was happy with from what I'm reading. Well, that interview today, well, it's obviously once he got the not the Champions League, the Europa, he already got a contract in it. So they was obviously happy with Arteta, what he'd done a few weeks back. They weren't that bothered about Champions League by the look of it. But this is the sad thing, Alex. I think Kroenke's ambitions are purely keep qualifying for Europa. If we get top four, brilliant. This is what Kroenke's thinking. It's just keep that money machine going. We don't have to be too ambitious because the Arsenal fans are going to keep ploughing money into us. We're going to keep taking it out. We know exactly what we need to do to mug these fans off.
Yeah.
Bare minimum. We can all see that they weren't ambitious enough January because if they were, they would have ploughed a lot of money into that club, just like Spurs did, to get the extra mile and get the Champions League done and dusted. So my ambitions and Kroenke's and Edu's are slightly different. Uh, I think we've got a sort of a split fan base as well now. Some are quite happy just to plod along and be in getting the Europa, be in the top eight. Where others like myself, I want to see Champions League. I want to see Arsenal back to being in the top four. to be in the top London club, to be in the best in Britain. I don't think Kroenke's got that ambition, you know. And to be quite honest, he don't need to be that ambition because he's still gonna. The fans are still gonna follow him to wherever they go. That's my opinion, Alex.
Yeah. Can I push you a little bit more, John? I mean, talking about the owner and being ambitious. With the manager we have there, and listen,
Yeah,
I'm not jumping on any bandwagon about Arteta in or Arteta out, but
yeah,
if he was really ambitious, this is Kroenke, that is. Do you think he would have
yeah.
really gone for Mikel Arteta as the manager for Arsenal if he was really ambitious?
Uh, it's hard to say. Mikel Arteta's up and coming. He was Man City's number 2 coach. He obviously didn't want an experienced. He weren't bothered about getting the best coach available in the world at the time because let's face it, Mikel Arteta is not that. He's an up and coming manager. He's done fantastic this season. I think he suits Kroenke's ambitions, and I think he's Kroenke's yes man, to be quite honest with you, because they both need each other to get. Arteta wants to get on and get up the ladder. I think Arteta has got Arsenal 100% at heart, but I think he's going to hit a brick wall with Kroenke, and I think we see it January. We all laughed at that, Place probably the top striker in Europe at the time. All right, he weren't performing, but he was one of the best strikers in Europe. Fair enough, get rid of him, but you need to replace him. You can't bluff your way into Champions League. Top 5 is a great, it's brilliant. I'll be happy with it. But we weren't ambitious enough to get over the line in the Champions League. And that's a missed opportunity. And worse things worse, Tottenham have taken that spot because they've done what Arsenal should have done. They've got Conte, a proven manager, players to get themselves over the line, and they also had quality strikers. I hate saying that, but that's the truth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Alfie, I saw you shaking your head when I asked a question to John. You completely disagree.
No, I agree with most of it, but yeah, we would like if we were really ambitious, we wouldn't have got Arteta for sure. I think we would have gone for a different manager, someone more experienced, someone that can put the players in place, someone who has authority. But with Arsenal, we have this we don't like confrontation a lot, and when, for example, Emery said, "I want this player, not that player," which is the most expensive player in Arsenal history, that is Pepe. He's not even playing, and that was a bad decision, like from the management, and we have to stick with that. So if they really wanted to go for it, they would have got Allegri. That he's not doing very well at Juventus, but he would have got Allegri or even Conte. But Arteta, he was unproven, and he was a bit below par for that particular role and that moment of Arsenal that we needed to revive. And I don't know, it was a friendly face, and we didn't appreciate Emery enough. Just look what he has done with Villarreal with no team. Um, so yeah, I think we rush a bit with Emery, but Arteta was not the right replacement for me, my position. And we can see it now. Like, how are we gonna give him a contract just before securing Champions League? And as John was saying, yeah, we have a split fan base, but I don't think top 8 should be, a reality because we are not a small team. It's not that we don't have the money, we don't have the history, we don't have like we have those resources, but we are just conforming. It's the mentality. It's like sometimes it's not even about football. Sometimes it's about, the guts that you have to make it happen. And yes, the players are young, but they were not hungry enough as sports are at the moment. That's simple as. And couple of weeks ago, I was saying, "Oh, we are in the worst position. We are depending on ourselves, and depending on Arsenal is just complicated because we feel that we're gonna bottle it at any time." And when Isaac was saying, "Oh, we have a run of games and then we lose," well, that's something that we've been doing for 14 years now, 16 years. So yeah, it's not this
Yeah,
season.
mate.
So yeah, that happens quite constantly. But yeah, I agree with some things. I don't agree with others.
Yeah.
Let me say something, Alex.
Yeah.
He's the Chiki Chapi has touched on Unai Emery and Arteta not being the right replacement for him. I could say that at the moment they are like at the same level because you look at Villarreal, they are in seventh place. They are battling to get into Europa League. They're having a game on Sunday against Barcelona, and to them is a must win to get to Europa. If they don't win, they go to Conference League. You see, Unai got us to the Europa League finals, but he sold us out. Because how can you give Peter Cech a number one spot and yet he's signed with Chelsea to leave after that game actually go and be their goalkeeping coach? Because to me, that is where Unai sold us out. He could have had Leno, but bygones are bygones. And at the moment, is like Ateta and Unai are in the same level. So Kroenke did not upgrade. He actually had a straight swap.
Not even because if we were measuring Arteta in the same way that we measure Emery, he would be gone by now. Um, because it's just simple as
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Richard, thank you for being patient, Richard. Do you want to add your comments or your thoughts on?
Yeah, I mean, the fact is that if the Croncos were going to bring in an experienced coach, with that comes expectation of Conte would just say, "I'm not coming here unless I'm going to get this amount of backing." Now, yes, they backed Arteta, but they've been able to jiggle finances around to make that money available. They haven't had to go and dig into their own pockets necessarily. They backed
The
with
Cronkies
the
never had jiggled money out their own pocket.
with the party. They were guarantors on that, but that's not putting your money in. You're just saying, yeah, if need be, we will put that money up if it can't come from anywhere else. So, but that's a different story. They're not going to give a world class coach. And I was watching the Liverpool game. Now, Klopp was there at 2015, and they said in that Liverpool FA Cup, he's only got 3 members in that squad left from when he took over in 2015. That's 7 years to get rid of the whole squad and rebuild it. If you want to become that successful, and we can't do it like a Liverpool City because we haven't got owners that are just going to slash your cash. It's going to take time. You're going to have to build season upon season and be smart in your investment.
How
Yeah,
can you
but to
compete?
build, you have to build up. You don't
Yes,
build down.
I agree, but we have built up because let's be honest. From Wenger's era, that squad was piss poor. The Pepe in Emery's piss poor. Torreira didn't work out for whatever reason. Arteta's come in. First season he's gone down. We'll take Willian from Chelsea because he's done it at Chelsea. He's proven it didn't work out. So this time around he's gone right. Let's go with youngsters. Now most of those players this season haven't performed badly. Tavares at the beginning of the season was kept Tierney out when he came back, and then he dipped. He's young, he's raw. That's going to happen. Lukonga, coming from the Belgium league, first part of the season, did really well. Then Party got fit, came in, and he was out. And then when he was came back in, he was asked to fill Partey's role. He's 18, it's the Premier League, it's a different league. He struggled. But there's a good player there. And I think if you look at most of the players we got in the summer, the majority of them have done all right. I'm not unhappy with Tomiyasu, apart from the injuries. Ramsdale's done pretty good. As I said, I've been pretty impressed with Lukonga's contribution, even though in the latter part he faded a bit. Odegaard, again, he's pretty good with the ball. He keeps that ball ticking over. He's always finding an extra pass, and that I think Arteta suited the case because he wasn't going to come in and say, "I want 300 million to start competing now." He came in and said, "This is my plan. I want to build the club up with younger players, try and improve them, and then get you up that way." Because the Conte said, "Yeah, fine, we'll buy that," and that's what they've done.
Yeah, but the results are not there, and some of those players are below par. And if we were in the Champions League, we wouldn't need to do that because you're not gonna attract that top player playing
Yeah,
in
but
Europa League.
that top player is more money, and the Contes aren't going to go into their own pocket. They might make money available by being clever with the finances and maybe getting new sponsorship deals and new things in the line, but they're not going to say, "Here, Mikel, we'll be creative with our finances so that you can have 350 million." Whereas as Man City will go out and he'll say to his cousin, "Look, new sponsorship deal is coming up. Let's rewrite that sponsorship deal and make it a better result for us, and we'll get around financial fair play because it'll be hard to prove that it's what that money's being spent on and where it's coming, and it'll be hard to nail down." They're
Yeah,
clever.
but financial fair play
Shake's
stopped.
been in sport for God knows how many years. He's dominated the horse racing sport for many years. He knows how to manipulate sports and how to get around financial doping. It's plain and simple.
This is a thing. Arsenal are going to fall behind in the pecking order because they can't compete with Liverpool, Man City, Man United, Chelsea.
Not financially, but if we're clever and
well, that's what it's all about, though. Unfortunately.
Yeah. But if we get clever and we get the right players in at the right age, then it might take us longer. But this season wasn't about Champions League, but our hopes were built up, and that's the disappointment because at the beginning of seasons, everyone was thinking, or the majority of people were thinking, 8th, 9th, that's the best we're going to do. And come to the last 4 or 5 weeks, 4th was a great possibility. And then in the last 2 games, it's gone. And there's disappointment there. And it hurts more because we're behind Spurs. But if we're real, at the beginning of the season, a lot of people weren't expecting 4th to be a possibility.
Alfie, you want to say something, don't you?
Yeah, I was gonna say, for me, that was the goal. The goal it was always to be 4th. Because because it's simple. You're not gonna get attractive players with targeting, eight, seven position. It's just not gonna happen. And yes, Liverpool had, young players that they're trying to build, but Luis Diaz is 50 million, and he just changed that team in January. And I said it in here. I said, "Oh, we should go for Luis Diaz. He's not that expensive. Just pay it, and that's it. It's just a smart investment." It was 72 million, Pepe, 72 million. And we have the money, we have the resources. Even Guimaraes, he was the guy that took us out of the fourth position. No one bid for him. There were 300 rumors about Arsenal going for him, and the guy waited. He said, "I don't want to continue. I want to go," and we never went for it. So yes, Arteta has to be responsible as well, because Tavares is horrendous as a left back. It's just dreadful. He can cross. He doesn't know how to track back. You just see the space there, and you go like, okay, some of the decisions were good, but some of the decisions are horrendous. We gave away Aubameyang for free. And that is on Arteta. We gave him for free. Okay, fair enough. The guy didn't suit the system. He was 32 years old. Okay, but reinvest because you need another striker. You cannot be left over at the end of the season with two guys that are going to go at the end of the next season. Because Lacazette is gone and Nketiah is gone. We definitely have no strikers. How is that? How can you have a manager that says, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna have two strikers on loan for 6 months"? Because at the end of the day, we have no strikers. How are we in this position? Like, I just don't get it.
Mm.
Okay, allow me say something, Alex. uh, yes, I agree with Alfie. In
So,
terms
Isaac, do you have your microphone? You probably need to bring your microphone a little bit closer to your mouth because it's just about.
yeah, yeah. Can
That's
you
better.
get me now?
That's better. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying in some aspects I agree with Alfie, but in some areas I'd like to disagree with him. Like, I don't think fourth was the goal this season. Actually, there is a live stream that we had, and I said that opinions are meant to change. When
Isaac,
you look,
I think Alfie was saying from his personal point of view, it should have been top four.
it should have been
That's
top four, but I don't think top four was the goal for this season for Ateta.
But
I
we
don't
we
think.
weren't we were not even in Europa League. We were not even challenging for anything else. This is the excuse for last season was, "Oh, we cannot be playing Europa." Sorry, 2 seasons ago, we cannot be playing Europa League and Premier League because we want to focus on the top four. So we didn't get FA Cup. We didn't get the League Cup. The only thing that we had is top four. Like we cannot go any lower than this. Like what do you expect? Eighth?
Okay, I get you, Alfie. Uh, but I don't think for him fourth was his main target. I'll go with John, but getting into Europe was his target. That is probably fifth or sixth. Because if you look at the beginning of the season, at the way we performed, yes, our opinion was at that moment as the fan base, most of us were like, please get us out of relegation. That was our prayer all through. Please get us out of relegation when we lost those three straight games. And then we went on a winning streak, and then we were there, number 11, and we were saying, okay, get us to top half.
Mm.
And then he got us to top half. And then we were like, okay, get us to sixth or fifth. And we were sixth. And then our expectations grew. And we were like, okay, then we can do Champions League. And then he took us to Champions League. And then, oh boy, down to fifth again. And here we are again disappointed. I can say actually our hopes, yes, were raised, but they were again brought down because of the way the team performed. You see this team, it has been a bumpy road. It has been ups and downs. And these ups and downs, personally,
For 16
I agree.
years.
No, 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 no. You know, when Wenger left, before he left, there are a lot of great players who left before he left. Actually, if we were realistic, I'll share a photo with Alex after the stream. The squad that Ateta inherited and the squad that he has right now. I was looking at the kind of squad that he had inherited. Look at the likes of Kolasinac. Kolasinac was his left back, and he has Tierney, and we've been saying with Alex, Tavares is not a left back. Tavares is a wing back. He's not a left back. They got that totally wrong. And I hope they are going to get a backup left back because Tavares isn't a left back. You look at the kind of squad that he had inherited and the kind of squad that he has at the moment, there are improvements. Yes, they are not a milestone. They are not like from 20 to 80, but there is a bit of improvement. And to me, that is what matters because I have come I have come to terms with the fact that at this very moment, Arsenal can never and will never pay 100 million for a player. In
Yes,
my years of
Isaac.
supporting Arsenal, I have never seen them spend 100. They only spent 74 for Pepe,
Someone that doesn't play.
and if you can remember well, Pepe's deal got some people sacked. That was the beginning of
Well, too
some
right, they got
individuals.
sacked. They shouldn't have bought him, should they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were sacked. And if
Yeah.
you so Pepe becomes the most expensive player in the Arsenal history because if you look, we had Aubameyang and Ozzy. We also have Lacazette and Ben White. Those are the players I can say that and Partey that Arsenal have spent big. But if you look at the likes of Henry, did not spend big. Arsenal is like the kinds of RB Leipzig or we have Salzburg. They want to spend on players who have potential and then build them and then
And
sell them,
sell them to
cash in.
Bayern Munich. Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I mean, because that's not. Do you think that Saka is gonna stay in Arsenal for 7 years until we actually go
no,
to Champions League? A
no, no,
Miles
no. That
Smith-Rowe. So
no, we
it
have
doesn't matter. Why are we going to spend so much time building a player just for they to go and win the Champions League with I don't know Bayern Munich, Chelsea, or Liverpool? We're
sadly
just
enough that
wasting our
is
time
Because
here.
Alfie, Arsenal are happy to
sadly
be in the between 8 and 5. Arsenal are happy
Yeah.
to
Yes,
do that,
but we
man. It's
are
good
happy,
for them.
and that's my problem. I don't care like what the owners want. It's like you talk to Arsenal fans and they conform
No,
with
I'm not
that. They
happy.
said
I'm not
they said
happy.
it's like no,
You
it's
just say what
fine.
they're
Eight
gonna
is
do.
fine. We only play in one competition, but if we're six, then that's fine. It's like how is that okay? Like why we suddenly are okay with winning to Chelsea and then losing to Newcastle or I don't know, it's just like Brighton away and things like that. It's just it
So
becomes like so
The owners are
normal
happy
now.
just to
so
toddle along and get in Europa.
Alfie, let me ask
The
you this
owners
question.
are not
What,
ambitious.
Alfie, in an ideal world, what would you like to see happen at Arsenal? And we've only got half an hour left.
Yeah, so sorry for taking off, but yeah, no, it's just the basics. Like he has to be responsible for the goods and the bad. He brought half of Chelsea's rejects, and nobody talks about it. But if he was another manager, I don't know why we sugarcoat Arteta so much. It's like I just don't get it.
I
It's
don't.
like
I don't.
yes, I get it. Like we trying to go in a path, but we have to go improving. Like we got rid of Arts and Wenger the longest serving manager of Arsenal because we were tired of just going fourth and not really challenging the Champions League. Something have to change, but something have to change to improve, not to go down. But my problem personally is that we are getting complacent. Like it for everyone is just fine. Like we always find an excuse for that. Is it the team? Is it the? For me, at the end of the day, it's the attitude of the players and the manager. And if the tactics are not going on, just he has to go. Simple as that. Or I don't know, just set up a target. But Ben White was 50 million and he was a good signing. We need three more of those. That's it. Like you have to put everything together because if you don't sign three players that you need, then the other four are gonna go through another club in the next 2 years. Like we made the same mistakes. We put Ozil on 300,000 euros a week, and then we did exactly the same thing with Aubameyang and kept him for 6 months. Who's responsible for that? Like we don't have money, but let's gonna pay this guy that is 32 years old 350,000 a week.
John, how do you
Sadly
see
enough,
things at Arsenal? Are are you reasonably happy with how things have been going over the last, let's say, 2 seasons at Arsenal? Are you happy or?
With me, no,
Yeah.
no, far from it, Alex. I let my heart rule my head this season, thinking, Arteta will finally get us into the Champions League, and I still say they should have got there, A more experienced manager would have got us Champions League. We were 4 points in front of Tottenham. We blew
Yeah.
it. The last 10 games, I said to you, I think we're going to win 7, drew 2, and lose 1. Well, how wrong did I get that? But I also said January, we ain't got enough players. We ain't got enough strikers. Kroenke knew that. Arteta knew that. No one did nothing about it. Like I say, Alex, at the moment, Arsenal is run as a business. It's not run as a football club. They're quite happy to plod along, go get between, 6th and 8th place, 5th and 8th place, get into Europa. If they get into Champions League, happy days. Kroenke's probably happy we ain't in Champions League because he ain't got to pay out for some more players. But no, as a proper Arsenal fan, we are making a bit of improvement, but that wasn't hard to do, was it, really? What I see is, I'm not going to blame Arteta. The problem lies with Kroenke. He is not ambitious enough, and no one can tell me different. If he was ambitious, he would have give Arsenal what it needed January to get over the line. And you can't tell me there weren't players about. Do you know what I mean? Even if it weren't strikers, he just let the fans down. I think they're not ambitious enough for me, and that's the problem. And
Yeah.
we see the summer signings who they're meant to be buying. You know what I mean? Like you say, Alex, it ain't gonna happen. Don't get your hopes up. Just they get one or two to keep the fans happy, and they've got to buy a striker for sure. But yeah, I
And they
just think
need to
they
buy
lack
at least two. But if I was a player and they tell me, would you like to go to Spurs or would you like to go to Arsenal for the same money, where would you go? Where
Well, I
would you
just go
go?
Spurs.
Yeah, of course, because the ambition is not there. Everyone's like, oh yeah, they're complacent. They players, yes, it's money, but they want to win things.
Look,
And what are you going to win?
When Conte went to Levy for money, he got it. When Arteta went to Kroenke for money, Kroenke gave him a knockback. He's like, "Go away, little boy." That's how it was. And get on with the card you're being dealt with. You know what I mean? Deal with it, and that's exactly what happened. And nah, I'm telling you now, Arsenal are falling too far behind.
Yeah.
FA Cups, League Cups, Europa, great. Champions League, Premiership, we're miles behind, mate. I can't see us winning that for a long, long time. And it's all right saying it's a process. Fans ain't gonna put up with that. Players will not put up with that. Certain players will thinking about leaving next season if nothing improves. Trust me.
Well,
Maybe this season.
I've heard some rumours that it's possible that the players have been down in tools on Arteta over the last 2 games. Now, Isaac, I know you have to go very, very soon. How do you see things being played out? Because I know there's some people watching now and still trust the process, and they believe that Arsenal can still get top 4 on Sunday. Your thoughts, Isaac, before you go?
If we believe we are going to get top 4, we probably have to be the Leeds fans on Sunday. And probably it was John's doing. I'm hearing of the poisoning at Spurs because he won the ice bucket challenge. Perhaps it's what he's doing. But
Yeah, it looks like I've lost it, mate.
but let me be honest with my fellow Gunners. The process is going to be hurting. It's not going to be an easy process because at the moment we are experiencing that everybody is hurt. I'm also hurt that we are not going to get top 4. Am I disappointed? Yes, I am, because we just needed to get a draw at Tottenham, and then perhaps a draw at Newcastle, and another draw at with Everton, and then we are in the
See,
top
that's
4.
the issue. Is it just the way you talk? It's like a draw at Newcastle, a draw at Everton. That
No. I'm
becomes the
saying
normal now.
not that I'm not ambitious. We were 4 points ahead of Tottenham. If we got a draw at their I'm trying to say, if we got a draw at Tottenham and then perhaps a draw at Newcastle and perhaps another draw with Everton, we could have been top 4.
Yeah, I get it, but that's not the way it should be, though. We shouldn't be looking at a draw and a draw and a draw because that's not who we are. That's not how we used to be. And if they really wanted to show the spirit, they would have won the Tottenham game.
I think
But
what Isaac's saying, like, we should have been a bit more professional and just like a draw would have got us over the line. You know what I mean? Instead of just like all guns are blazing, get sent off, then throw away the game. Go here, Tottenham, have the 3 points
yeah, but
straight away.
John,
We're under pressure.
I don't, again, I don't like to give my opinion because I'm just hosting the show.
Yeah, go on.
Beginning of the season, we lost 3 games. After the international break, we lost 3 games. Now, towards the end of the
Yeah,
season,
I
we're
know.
on the verge of losing 3 games. 3 defining parts in the season.
Well, they were consistent. Alex. They done it quite a few times, didn't they? Lose
Yeah.
3 in a row.
Yeah.
We've lost 13 games all season. It's just not good enough, is it? You know what I mean? When the stats all stack up,
Yeah.
we are where we are, and unless Delilah helps us out, we ain't getting any further. But we should have a more experienced manager would have got us over the line in the position we was in after January. With the money and a more experienced manager, we would have definitely got Champions League, and I'll argue that with any Arsenal fan.
Do you reckon so, John? I just think with the players, the young players, they've never been in this situation before. They've never been on the verge of securing a top 4, and they fluffed their lines. But Richard, I know you've been a person to say something. So
yeah, I mean, let's get this right. Edu had a deal in place for Arthur Mello in January. Kroenke had to sign off on it, and he refused to sign off on it. He said, "We're not going to. I don't mind the loan bit, but we're not going to have that obligation to buy. We're not going to accept
A lack of
a 32
ambition.
million obligation to buy." Now, that might have been wrong. And I'm not saying it was wrong, and I'm not saying it's right because we don't know that. But that wasn't down to Edu or Arteta. There was a possibility of strengthening a midfield spot where we've been woefully short. because Partey's injured, and you've seen against Tottenham and Newcastle recently that Xhaka and El Neni have come up short, and we haven't had another option to change that midfield around.
But Richard, was Arteta's decision to let Aubameyang go with no replacement? Because if I were the manager, I would have said no, he's not going anywhere.
Yeah,
unless you give me a replacement.
But Aubameyang, he's broken the rules, and that was no way back, and that's fair enough. They went out for Vlahovic, didn't get him. Maybe they should have gone for another one and not put all their eggs in one basket. But maybe they were led to believe that Vlahovic, there was a chance that he might come to thing. You've got to remember, Juventus didn't really have the money for Vlahovic. What they've done,
was never going to come to Arsenal. He said it.
Inter were only going to wait for him until next season. But they were forced into going for him this season because Arsenal were so proactive in going after him. And yeah, okay. I mean, we get down to the players down in tools on Arteta. If they down tools, I don't think we would have got results against Chelsea, West Ham, and United. I think what's happened is that against Tottenham and Newcastle, partly the season's caught up with them, pressure, and you've got to say, I mean, the atmosphere at White Hart Lane was red hot. Those young players have not experienced that. They've never been to Trabzonspor in Turkey and faced a volatile crowd. So they haven't come up against that sort of pressure. And maybe that's a coaching problem, but they haven't prepared them properly and said, expect this and this and do this to quieten the crowd. I don't know, but
you do know.
After games, they've wilted, and that's an issue. We've got serious issues now of who's going to be fit for the Everton game. Doubts on Tomiyasu, doubts on
the Everton game doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't make a difference. It doesn't.
It does. It's the last game of the season. It's the last game of the season. If you're going to the Emirates, you want to see the team perform and win. And if you're a season ticket holder, you want to see the team win that last season.
But you want them to do that before the last game.
We would have loved. We
want
all
them to
would
do
have
it
loved them
a long way before that.
Yeah, we would have loved them to beat Brighton. We would have loved them to beat
Exactly.
Southampton.
I mean, the players know, okay, they're young players, fair enough. I understand that. But then you look at your manager and you say, okay, I have an experienced manager that is going to help me how to handle this situation. And we don't have that either.
No, so that's not Arteta's fault, is it? It's not Arteta's fault he hasn't got the experience in this position.
Well, it kind of is if he's taking the job as a manager. That's his job to do it. It doesn't matter if he's got the experience. He should be able to speak to the players, Richard. Do you know what I mean? He should be able to.
Maybe he has, but
I think that is a problem.
Would have maybe given them.
I think he has got
tools to handle that.
He's got people skills problems, I think.
Yeah, I do believe that because loads of players have left and Xhaka is still there.
You beat me to it. You beat me to it.
I told myself the whole show.
Xhaka might go next season if we're lucky.
But you know, we're speaking about the youngsters who performed more often than not, and it's been the experienced players who have let us down. But then you've got somebody who was a captain, got stripped. He did what he did. He said what he said, and he's gone, to me, beyond the pale, doing the post-game, interview, and actually throwing the youngsters under the bus, Richard.
We threw every single player in that squad under the bus. He didn't, including himself. But was it right? No. But maybe maybe somebody in that squad needs to stand up and say this.
Should have done it a long
Well,
way before then,
yeah,
though. Should have done
Tottenham
it in
wasn't
January.
acceptable. Crystal Palace wasn't acceptable. Brighton wasn't acceptable. And tonight's not acceptable. But that should have been done by somebody way before now. And that's an issue, isn't it? If no one's got the balls to call out the whole squad and say we're not performing as a team in crunch situations, we've got to man up. We've got to learn how to hunker down, ride out a bit of a storm, and then play our game, because that's what all it needed at Tottenham. Started off that first 13 minutes well. If you kept that going until the 20th minute, that crowd would have been quiet, and then you could have started dominating that game. But no, you get in, you get a silly yellow card, and then you go and do something silly on the thing.
How many points of these red cards cost them all over the season?
Yeah,
if you add them all up, that's cost them the Champions League.
Right.
He cannot even pass to the front. He's horrible.
Cards, I think, and I think you can only complain about one of those red cards, which was the Martinelli one, because it was so quick. He hadn't even been carded the first time, and so that would be the only one that I would say was a poor decision against us. The rest you can say were deserved, even though you can say the Xhaka one against City, Kane didn't get one against Liverpool when he nearly took Robertson's leg off. But then we're getting into consistency with referees, and I've always said you shouldn't be relying on referees. You should have the job done and take the referee out of the equation. And quite simply, this season we haven't done that.
Alfie, do you want to say something quicker before I go into the live chat?
Yeah, no, definitely. No, I know this was gonna be complicated. But no, basically, it's just, I don't know. I think we have to step up, and we cannot keep making excuses for nor the management, nor the team. Like, it's just simple. We change ours to improve, and we are not improving. And hashtag I don't trust the process. Yeah, what process? Like, I just don't see it. And we don't have the depth of the squad for two competitions, not for four competitions next year.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, as a player, go to Arsenal at the moment. So yeah, we have to improve in many ways, but yeah, we have to be ruthless. Shaka has to go. Well, Denny has to go. They're just not good enough. If you're gonna stick with the youngsters, okay, that's fine. Go all the way. But then Shaka, a guy that cannot even pass to the front, is throwing all the youngsters under the bus. Especially because of the youngsters are not going to stay for a long time if you don't start winning things, regardless of the money and the salaries and the transfers. That's why you need to have Ben White. Like all of the loanees have been performing. Saliba has been great. Dinos in Germany has been really good. Even when Dossi has been good. So yeah, I do think that Arteta has some personal problems sometimes with the players, and his ego is too high, and he has to, he doesn't have the experience. He's just inexperienced for that. But we'll see how it goes. But let's not focus on the last game of the season because we are crying over the spilled milk, we say in Colombia. It's like it's already done. It's just, what's the point? Like, it depended on us, and we were not able. We bottle it, as simple as that. And even if they showed the aggression, but from the first 15 minutes on that Newcastle game, I said we're not scoring. Every time that Arsenal gets scored first, we never go to win that game. It just doesn't happen for us. So statistics or guts or they get overwhelmed during the matches, they have to step up the performances,
Hmm.
and that's on the manager.
Richard, I know
Before
you
we go
want to say
into his
something, but I
live
do have
chat,
to go. Sorry, I have to go into the live chat.
right? Yeah.
The people got enough time. Sorry. The assembled says the evening panel. Isaac, simple question, but Isaac's gone. Emery lost to Spurs by 1 point. If both teams win on Sunday, Arsenal will lose out by 2 points. Is this progress? Yes or no will suffice. Well, Isaac's not here to respond, so it's unfair they should answer that question. Colin says the Sunshine and Rainbow crew to tell us that Arteta has done well amidst Arsenal standards. Oh boy. Andres says, can we have Erdegaard back? No, you can't. And the Colin says, your manager is a joke and next season will be a disaster with excuses sprinkled all over it unless we start demanding more, John. Can we have more, please, sir, John?
Well, I've said that, haven't I just said earlier on that Arsenal ain't ambitious enough. Kroenke, Arteta and Kroenke go together like, milk and sugar. they complement each other. Arteta don't ask too many questions. Kroenke don't give too much money. If you're an Arsenal fan, as we all are, don't expect Champions League anytime soon. Don't expect Premiership titles anytime soon. We're quite happy to be a top 5 team now, and I can't see it improving anytime soon, personally.
Andres goes on to say Shaka has to go. Arteta is simply not good enough. The truth will set you free. Nomad says, do you consider 5th place failure, Richard?
Disappointment more than failure, because I don't think the expectation this season was for Arteta other than Europa League places. Personally, yes, but because I would have liked a cup and 4th place this season. I said from the start of the season that was a distinct possibility, and we've come up short. It's a disappointment, and it's a bitter disappointment, because it looks like Spurs are going to pip us to that Champions League spot. But I think
Come
it's
on,
more.
Delilah.
If you're basing the season on what the club's expectations were, then it's a disappointment rather than a failure.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to ask Alfie because I know the answer. Anyway. hello, Alex on the panel. What are we talking about? The new shirts. Next.
It's you don't like it? I think it's pretty actually.
What? No. The
Yeah, it's
color.
alright. It's
No.
it's a weird color, but it's
I
alright.
quite like it.
Come on, Alfie. I think
We
Arsenal will
might
have
I
a
get
good
like
Panther
colors.
with the
at the
collars.
Premier League next season. Come on, you Gunners. Say it, John. 3 years have been a failure. Can't say it, John.
Well, yeah, in the eyes of us old school Gunners, yeah.
Yeah. 5th place is embarrassing, says Nomad. The answer is no, resounding. I think I saw Alfie walking around with a Chelsea shirt. I want some explanation. Alfie, what's going on?
Nah, that's my roommate, and he's a Madrid fan, and
All
he
right,
knows that Liverpool is going to lose. So he's gonna win. So yeah, that's what it is.
All right, okay. Let's see what else got here. Let's go. We have lost 3 in a row multiple times. Stop with the moral victories. Simply not good enough. Bin him. What else does he say? He says he was not backed, and he is a decorated, experienced manager. Should Arteta go? Yes or no? Alfie, I know the
Um,
answer.
we gave him a contract like before he actually achieved anything, so he's not gonna go. So what I think it doesn't matter anymore. They made the decision, so yeah, he's gonna go next year though, for sure.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't like, it's gonna be double the difficulty next year because we're gonna add Europa League. Same young players, and the replacements are gonna be hard to get. So if he doesn't perform well, he has to go.
Yeah.
But this season, nothing to do.
This symbol says the key thing is that everyone seems to forget Arteta turned down the Arsenal job because he lacked experience before Emery was offered the job. Maybe just one more before we go into predictions for Sunday's game. Let's have a look here. DWTT says the goal is to win the Premier League or the Champions League trophy. Top 4 is a milestone. Top 6 is better than last 2 seasons, but some say no progress was made. Maybe I'm in that camp. So Sunday, people, prediction. John, prediction for Sunday.
5-0 Arsenal, 5-0 Norwich. Come on, Delilah. And Champions League football.
Faint hopes.
Put your money on me lottery ticket as well.
I'm going to say 3-1 to us. Head says Tottenham will win it, but heart says a 2-1 Norwich win.
Right. Okay. Alfie.
We're delusional. We are just delusional.
I did say it my heart said that.
Okay. So yeah, if we're going that way, Arsenal is winning 6-0.
All right. Okay.
And Norwich is winning 3-0, and we're going to the Champions League.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, come on, Delilah.
Nomad says Alfie is spot on. All right. I'm not sure about what. Top 4 is only a position if you are batting for the league. Come on, man. Well said, Alfie. If 4th wasn't the goal, what's the point? John?
Well, it weren't their goal, was it? It's been proven it weren't Arsenal's goal. It's my goal. It might be a lot of Arsenal supporters' goal. But it's also a lot of Arsenal supporters are quite happy now to sit in the middle, get Europa. But trust me, it ain't Kroenke's goal to get Champions League. It may be Arteta. He ain't going to be given the tools to do the job he wants. That's my problem. Kroenke ain't going to allow him, ain't going to give him the investment he needs to do what he needs to get over the line.
DWT says Saka here for 7 years without Champions League. No. Do you know what? We've come to an end on this particular Easy Talk. Yeah, interesting discussion. The majority of the time I didn't say anything because I thought you guys managed to manage yourselves quite well. You behaved yourselves quite well, like good contributors. Richard, it's always a pleasure to have you back on the channel. So thank you for your presence on this particular Easy Talk. And John Nagiza Guna, Ice baby.
Why?
Nice one, John.
Come
nice
on,
one. Yeah, and last but not least, Alfie, the cheeky chappy. Good to see you back, man.
Thank you for having me back, and thank you for having us in this lovely chat with you two guys.
Thank you
for that.
So, thank you, Alfie. Nice to meet you, mate. Well said.
Yeah.
So that is it. Actually, not surprised, but both my brother and myself, we will be going live. We'll be broadcasting live from the Emirates on Sunday before kickoff, and hopefully we might get some interviews in before kickoff. So if you are watching now, or maybe on a rerun or repeat, and you do see us at the Emirates, please come up and say hello. You might just feature broadcasting live on Cannon 4 TV, and after that we're going to the Gunners pub. So come over there.
Go on, you gooners.
There you go. And that's it. I'll be live and direct tomorrow morning talking about what would I be talking about? Oh yeah, Arsenal. For my sins. Anyway, so that's it. Another Easy Talk done and dusted. To my contributors, thank you so much for your time. And everyone, I didn't get to read all the comments in the live chat. I think Andres managed to dominate the live chat. Alfie, have a word of him, please. Have a word.
Yes, please. I will do.
And that's it. Until then, you have been watching Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world. Come on, you Gunners! Come on!
Come on, guys.